It's been a very entertaining opening Saturday of this 2015 college football season. That last scoring drive, Dave, 8 plays, just 19 yards. Oaks from 45 yards out. He's a weapon for the Hoosiers.
Hey, you know what? And great decision making on that drive to go for it on 4th down. Nate Sudfeld converting some of those opportunities. Again, protecting the ball, realizing time and place in the game. They came away with 3 points. Now the second half is starting to go how they needed to script it to get back in the game and then see if SIU can keep the momentum through 4 quarters.
Had trailed by 11 just 7 minutes ago, and now SIU, the pressure is on. Remember, the Salukis pulled off the upset on this very field 9 years ago, and trying to do it once again tonight. Playoff push begins this evening. Number 20 Wisconsin takes on 3rd-ranked Alabama. Watch tonight at 8 on ABC and stream live at home and on the go at watchespn.com. Badgers have a nice Big Ten schedule this year. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, they do, you know, and Paul Chris is familiar with what they do and how they do it, so I don't think there'll be much of a transition in terms of terminology, coaching style. He knows their identity. They've got Clement at running back. They've got a big physical offensive line. Should be a great matchup in the trenches against Alabama.
Wisconsin at running backs, it's like Baylor and quarterbacks. You just insert the next guy in and he's got a chance. Aaron Stanton, the carry, the junior college transfer. That'll be good for 5 yards. And SIU needs to gain some momentum back right now, Dave.
Yeah, not anything fancy. Just keep on executing their offense.
Hoosiers will show some pressure. Stanton's able to dance his way for a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. The tackle by Simmons.
Yeah, TJ Simmons again attacking the line of scrimmage, playing downhill to make that play. Again, IU starting to bring pressure from the field, attacking from that side.
Salukis in search of their first down of the second half.
Interesting to see if SIU goes a little play action here and how aggressive on 3rd down. Looks like IU's going to bring pressure again.
Handoff. Needed 2, and it looks like he's going to come up short. Jerry makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, and a much-needed one at that for Hoosier fans.
Yeah, the senior from Peoria, Illinois. Again, they're bringing pressure from the field. The defense is playing together. They slant the offensive line right into the zone that way. And, man, Jerry's there to make that play. Look at those guys. They're fighting across the block of the offensive tackle, sticking his head in his gap responsibility. Great play.
A different Indiana program here so far in our second half. Derek Mathewson sends this one away. A beautiful punt. And Page driven all the way back to his 11-yard line. Well, you talk about flipping the field. A weapon right there for Derek Mathewson. A punt of 59 yards.
And that was kind of into the wind a little bit. He drove that one. That was a great stand by Indiana's defense. Again, understanding where their pressure's coming from, how to fit, what gap they need to be in. And, man, Jerry was right there at the right place, right time to stop that 3rd down conversion.
Nate Sudfeld back on the field. Injured his non-throwing shoulder a year ago. After engineering an upset at number 18, Missouri was lost just a few weeks later, and Indiana was never the same. And now that he's healthy, 329 days later, it's on his shoulders to pull off the comeback tonight. And also Jordan Howard, there he goes. Crossing the 40 all the way up to the 45-yard line. A pickup of 35 yards with a stop by Anthony Thompson.
And again, leaning on that offensive line up front. They're moving the line of scrimmage right now.
Hoosiers go tempo. And Sudfeld not on the same page as his wide receiver, Simi Cobbs.
Yeah, you can see that right there. He's letting them know. They're running hard play action. He wanted to whip back out of that in-breaking route.
You see the play cards going up in the background. I've always wondered about those cards and exactly what they mean.
Personnel, formation.
I'm looking for your picture.
No, it's not going to be there, baby.
In the top left-hand corner. I don't.
The blackjack dealer might be up there, though.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10. And the Hoosiers trying to double down in the second half. There goes Howard. Dragging defenders, crossing the 40 into SIU territory. And Jordan Howard, Dave, over 100 yards rushing.
They've got this SIU defense on their heels right now. They got to keep pounding the rock and then take a shot. Look at that offensive line again, moving the line of scrimmage and getting to the second level.
Talk to me about depth right now. SIU appears to be wearing down somewhat defensively. The challenges between an FCS and FBS program. Pitch and catch, Cobbs with the grab. Lassoed out of bounds by Neal.
And there's a little bit more off the play action. You see Sudfeld, when he sets up and throws the ball, that ball comes out quick and it's spinning.
Nate Sudfeld now over 200 yards passing. Does have a touchdown toss today. Here's Page, and a great tackle in the open field. Jefferson Villa.
Yeah, great play by Jefferson Villa right there. Slipping the block of the wide receiver and making that tackle for a loss.
And this is a big third down coming up for the Hoosiers.
Trailing both sides right here.
Yeah.
It's a test of will.
Sudfeld gets the play call. On third down, has his man, Ricky Jones. And spins his way, tumbling towards the 20. Gain of 13.
And SIU is going to bring pressure up the middle, leaves their corner one-on-one with Ricky Jones on the perimeter.
Back to live action. Sudfeld tries to extend the play. He does. It's a 2-yard pickup. Flag deep in the backfield in the area of holding.
Holding. Oh. Sorry.
Ouch.
Holding. Offense. Number 67. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Ron Snodgrass in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Hey, don't fool yourself. It's dangerous out there. Boy, those penalties in the red zone, those are the ones that really hurt. Now they're behind the sticks in the fringe area. See how aggressive they get.
Snodgrass's head's on a swivel after that one.
Yeah, it better be.
Damon Graham, the guilty party there for IU. Hand off to Vine Redding. And nothing doing. It'll bring up second and long. Dakota Upchurch with the stop.
Good patience there by Indiana, still working the line of scrimmage. No panic. Let's see where they get the matchup.
Second and 16. Sudfeld, boy, he fooled everybody with that one. Great ball skills. Tackled finally at the 15-yard line by Anthony Thompson.
And in that fringe area, the quarterback read and watch. Everyone thinks that Redding has the ball. They don't think the big 6'6" Sudfeld is going to run with it. But look at that, not bad. You know, there's a little quickness there. Going to get down, keep it safe.
Emphasis on the word little.
Yeah,
12-yard pickup. On third down. Deep handoff, Redding with daylight. A path to the end zone. Can he get there? No. Sandwiched out of bounds. Physical tackle by James.
Look, there is nothing fancy there. You're going to see the left side of this offensive line just cave down that line of scrimmage, and it just pops open for Redding. Again, 3rd and 4, hammering it, no nonsense. That's having faith in the big guys up front.
Indiana trailed by 11 at halftime. Now with an opportunity to go back in front. Snap was wide. Crafty play by Sudfeld. There's Redding. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Kenny James couldn't stop him, and IU back out in front.
And you'll see Sudfeld right here. Again, that snaps off to the right. He's got a reverse 360 all the way around to get that ball to Redding. Nice job of staying calm in a critical situation, get the ball to your running back, get him in for a touchdown.
And how about Indiana showing out finally in this second half? It's a 10-play, 90-yard drive.
Tell you what, I would have loved to have been in that locker room at halftime.
We spoke with Kevin Wilson yesterday. He was animated. He was ready for this season. I have the feeling he was getting into his guys a little bit. Second touchdown of the contest for Divine Redding. And Indiana back out in front by 6. Kevin Wilson's Hoosiers back out in front after lead change number 4. David Diaz-Infante, Roy Philpott, glad you could join us. In Indiana starting to assert itself on the ground. And this is what the Hoosiers are known for. You see the numbers from a year ago compared to today.
Yeah, the difference is now they've got their quarterback. You know, they take some shots down the field, and you combine those two things, it becomes very difficult to defend. They've just got to continue to execute.
Dave, I think you, as well as I, in talking to the IU coaches yesterday, this program is trying to figure out how to change the culture to take care of teams like this consistently, to take care of the month of September and what's a very manageable schedule.
Hey, listen, you know, I know it looked bad in the first half, but they're not the only team to struggle with a lesser opponent in this opening weekend.
And a reminder, Monday, SVP is taking his talents to midnight. After the Ohio State-Virginia Tech game, stay tuned for SportsCenter like you've never seen before. Join Scott Van Pelt for the premiere of his new nightly SportsCenter show, weeknights at midnight.
You know that's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
You know that's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the good guys, too.
Always love the contributions on game day, visiting with certain athletes and kind of diving in a little bit deeper than most. Hoosiers right now in the midst of a 17-0 scoring barrage to open our third quarter. And another critical possession right now for the Salukis. Matt DeSomer back in at quarterback and picks up 9 on first down. So we saw a good bit of this, Dave, in our first 2 quarters. They got to find a way to regain some momentum. Yeah,
it's just another way to get a little different kind of athlete with the football in his hands and can still throw it. Remember that.
And the first down of the second half for the Salukis. DeSomer picks it up, needed 1, gained 2.
Well, and T.J. Simmons said, allow me to introduce myself. And he came inside out and he put a little pad on him right there.
Simmons has been all over the field tonight, and he's had to be given the loss of personnel for this IU defense. Gain of 3 for Cameron Walter with a stop again by T.J. Simmons.
And there's Simmons again playing downhill. You know, that's when, as a leader of the team, he's a junior, but he's one of their best players. He's a thumper inside. He's one of our impact players. You got to take over that emotional energy, bring the juice by making impact plays like that.
You know, he had knee surgery back in spring practice. He has recovered quite nicely. Here's Ionati with time. Rockets a pass far side, short of the first down. Fant in coverage as Billy Reed makes the grab. Gain of 7 yards. Here comes the crowd once again in Bloomington.
Again, we'll see if Indiana brings pressure. Again, sliding the front to the field.
And this is where Ionati's made his living. He's going to run the option with his fullback. Needed 2. And just ahead of the sticks, he'll have the first down.
And you'll see Ionati's going to check to this play. Snap it quick as the safety's trying to rotate down and fill in the run support. Got there a little bit sooner. Looks like he converted this.
And an injured IU defensive player. That's Rashard Fant, the starting cornerback. If you're just joining us, Indiana announced right before kickoff 9 players out of this game, including a handful of key defensive players. T. Scales, an outside linebacker, 2 defensive tackles. We also haven't seen Chase Dutra, the leader in the secondary, and that's been massive to try to overcome.
Right, and that's, you know, that affects your team. That many guys, I mean, it takes its toll. Not only, you know, you don't have as many bodies out there, but, you know, when you're playing up-tempo offenses, boy, you need all the live bodies you could get.
One upset already today for the Missouri Valley Football Conference. South Dakota State beat Kansas in Lawrence. And in terms of ranked teams, Northwestern upset number 21 Stanford. So opening weekend, Dave, it's kind of what you expect.
Yeah, I tell you what, Northwestern at home, man, they're a team that plays just like their head coach. They're fired up, they're scrappy, you know, and they'll do that to, you know, a few teams every year, you know.
And I tell you, there's something too. The West Coast team plays an early game closer to the East Coast. That travel, you watch it in college football over the years. The times you see those upsets in those kinds of games. On first down, McIntosh back on the field, the third team signal caller, and dives forward for a yard. The tackle by Mangieri. Last play of our third quarter in a 6-point ball game.
I tell you, it's Mangieri, it's T.J. Simmons, and guys taking over on defense for Indiana.
Start of the fourth quarter back in Bloomington. 38-32 our score. Indiana back out in front of Southern Illinois. David Diaz-Infante, Roy Philpott. Upsets from the Missouri Valley Football Conference, as we talked about earlier. Really, they're fairly common if you go back through the years, Dave.
Yeah, and the first one to really think of is North Dakota State, what they've done. Their run a national championship. Look at Youngstown State. Bo Pelina gets a win over Pitt today.
4 national titles for North Dakota State in back-to-back fashion. Pass is incomplete, intended for Feeney. Padmore in coverage. Youngstown State competitive with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's right. They lost to Pittsburgh. Pat Narduzzi in his debut as head coach of Pitt. Boy, Narduzzi and Pelini going at it with the crew.
Gotta love it. You gotta love this game as well. 3rd down and 9. Ionati on the run, completes the pass. Reed's got it at the 40-yard line, and SIU in Indiana territory once again.
And you'll see the receiver again. Watch him work back to his quarterback, Billy Reed. Present the numbers and a target. And Ionati doing a great job of climbing the pocket.
Ball on the turf, flag on the field as well. Indiana recovers the fumble. We'll check the penalty. Our veteran officiating crew out of the Big Ten Conference.
Ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense. The flag was inadvertently dropped. 1st down, Indiana.
The 2nd fumble of the game coughed up by the SIU offense, and that's a big one, Dave.
We'll see what happened here. The exchange is clean. Boy, that ball's out. Cameron Walter.
Sandwiched in between 3 IU defenders. And the ball squirted out at the last second. And Kevin Wilson trying to get his offense on the field as soon as he can.
Plays under further review.
This official review is brought to you by Donate Life. Visit DonateLifeIndiana.org to register to be.
And whatever it was Kevin Wilson said at halftime, it has been paying dividends the entire second half so far. We'll see what we can gather by taking a look at this replay.
Boy, sure looks like it was out.
And Jerry with the initial contact. And the helmet goes right near the ball, at least on the arm right there. That's a fumble. I think.
Remember, it was ruled a fumble on the field too. That's so important. And again, this defense stepping up. This man Jerry and guess who that was? It's T.J. Simmons and Nick Mangieri.
And Simmons already with 11 stops. Add another one to the
review,
arsenal.
The ruling on the field stands. 1st down, Indiana.
And Kevin Wilson, the professor, goes back to work with his offense. He put up all those points when he was a coordinator for Bob Stoops at Oklahoma. 5th year here at IU, expectations growing by the second. After a dangerous start in the first 2 quarters, Indiana has been dominant so far in the second half. Sudfeld throws it away.
Smart play. I think it was DeAndre Barnett that was out there covering the tight end, the flat, the play they've had a lot of success with. When that H-back kind of hides behind the line of scrimmage. Nice job by SIU covering it, and smart play by Sudfeld to throwing the football away.
Sudfeld now 14 of 21 passing for just over 220 yards. And he'll air it out here, going deep. And the late flag. Kenny James in coverage. Make that Ryan Neal.
21 Ryan Neal on the coverage.
And some late contact draws the laundry.
SIU again brings pressure
Pass
from
interference.
the boundary.
Defense, number 21, 15 yards, the previous spot, automatic first down.
Ryan Neal was in great position. He just had to turn and find the ball.
And
that was the only thing he had to do right there. He was on an island. They brought pressure from the boundary, brought the corner, one-on-one. Sudfeld saw the matchup he wanted, threw it up, and he got the call.
And Sudfeld, under heavy duress that time, needed all 6 feet 6 inches of that frame to get the ball out of there. Andre Booker, the intended wide receiver.
Play is under further review. See if the pass was tipped.
Yeah, go back and rewind that, and if you see right at the line of scrimmage, there was a defender barreling down on him. And Dave, he had to put so much air under that football just to get it out of there. Watch this. That's Barnett again.
Barnett, look at the dip and rip, and now the hand goes up.
Oh, you just can't tell there. That's close. See if the receiver was out of bounds as well.
If he tips that ball, he might have hit his hand. I don't know if he hit the ball. But at 6'6", receiver is out of bounds.
But he's getting pushed out of bounds, right? He's getting ridden towards the sideline. A bang-bang play. We got a lot of things in motion on this sequence.
And the reason why that's so important is that if the receiver's out of bounds, he's no longer eligible, and therefore you can't have pass interference. And the ball was tipped.
I don't think the ball was tipped. It was close.
After review, the ruling on the field stands, and the penalty is enforced.
All for naught. So much for theory and conjecture.
So a 15-yard pass interference penalty. Remember, it's not a spot foul in the college game. Indiana suddenly with possession of the football in SIU territory, however. Hoosiers showing a dual tight end formation.
Well, this is where SIU likes to kick up their pressure packages. Once you start crossing the 50, they'll bring some pressure.
Here comes Howard. A little stutter step at the line will net him 5 yards.
Yeah, there was not much there. I mean, there was a lot of bodies at the line of scrimmage. He just kind of slid his way up in there and falls forward.
IU goes tempo. Howard again driven backwards. A form tackle by who else? Chase Allen.
8 Howard again. 5 Chase Allen at the tackle.
You'll see number 5 Chase Allen right there. Well, look at him avoid the block of the tackle and then go up and fit right up on Howard. Love that.
That's football 101.
Yeah, wrap the arms, lift the legs. That was nice. Those big offensive tackles hate when you do that. You can't avoid me. He ran right underneath them. Great instincts and great closing speed. Coach talked about that to us.
Still goes for a gain of 2 yards, 3rd down and 4. Redding this time will try the right side. Driven down behind the line of scrimmage. Brandon Williams makes the stop.
82, Brandon Williams.
And that's a big play right there for SIU.
Brandon Williams is a guy that gives them some length on the edge, and you'll see he's going to use it right there, number 82. Watch him play with his outside shoulder free and then have the length and speed to make the tackle on Redding.
And don't go anywhere just yet. That's a loss of 5 yards, 4th down, and IU's punter back on the field. As we reintroduce ourselves to Eric Toth.
Let it go! Let it go! Let it go!
And a booming kick with the wind at his back will sail into the end zone. Timeout on the field. We'll take one with him. 38-32. The Hoosiers holding on for dear life. Early stages, fourth quarter.
Proud sponsor of SIU athletics. It's now time for the Bichetto's Smiling Face Race. Fans in one lucky section will win 3 Bichetto's gift cards. If the Smiling Teeth man representing their section wins the race. Representing section 14, the green Smiling Teeth man. Orange represents section 7, and section 24 represented by the purple Smiling Teeth guy. And here we are. The winner is section 7. 5 lucky fans just won 3 gift cards courtesy of Bichetto's Pizza and Pasta. Visit Bichetto's at East 3rd in the Bypass or at West 3rd and Liberty Drive, and 6 Puccini's Smiling Teeth locations in Indy. Puccini's Pizza and Pasta is now located in the heart of Columbus, Indiana at the Commons Mall. Bichetto's winner of Best Pizza, Best Italian, Best Lunch, and Best Catering in the Herald Times Reader's Choice Awards of 2015.
Up for that. Well, the Buckeyes begin their title defense looking to avenge last year's only loss in a rematch with the Hokies. It's college football prime time. Number 1, Ohio State versus Virginia Tech. Watch Monday at 8 p.m. on ESPN and stream live at home and on the go at watchespn.com. We mentioned the Hoosiers' schedule, Dave. Manageable, but yet Florida International upset Central Florida.
Right.
All those teams ahead of them won.
And Western Kentucky beats Vanderbilt, right?
Wake Forest defeated Elon Thursday night as well, 41-3, and then Columbus looms large on October 10th. Or, excuse me, Ohio State. That game will be played here in Bloomington this year. And back to live action after a critical defensive stop for SIU. Little shake and bake by Daquan Isom, and there he goes, near sideline. Isom! 80 yards for the touchdown, and the Salukis back out in front. Talk about lightning in a bottle, Dave.
Wow, we've seen it all.
Sean Heffern had a chance and missed him.
And you'll see it's just a screenplay. It was a great job by Isom putting on the brakes and allowing his blockers to catch up to him. And then the vision and the speed, once he hit the sidelines, he was gone.
This game has seen almost 1,000 yards in total offense.
Illegal substitution. 10 men in formation. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still a try down.
That was the reserve right guard, Josh Podjolinski, trying to get off the field. Big number 61. And Dale Lennon wondering what happened there.
Again, we talked about all those things we talked about early in the game are coming to fruition. You know, substitution problems, penalties, special teams, turnovers.
That'll go down as an 80-yard scoring strike. Another touchdown toss from Ionati, and the extra point is no good. 12:24 remaining. We are tied at 38. And the true freshman from Orlando, Daquan Isom. A little shake, a little bake, and pay dirt 80 yards later. Fireworks aplenty. Opening weekend college football back here on ESPN News. We are tied at 38. Daquan Isom, an 80-yard strike.
Well, the penalty, a substitution penalty, knocks them farther back, and just think they had gone for the 2-point conversion, so they would have been up.
It's a big miss, extra point right there.
Yeah, critical.
You see Ionati's numbers. Boy, he has been just about perfect today, David.
Yeah, you got to love it. I mean, you look at how accurate he's been with the ball. He's taken care of the football, made good decisions with it when he has the ball in his hands, either through the air or on the ground. Made some nice adjustments at the line of scrimmage.
SIU was 6-6 a season ago, not playing like it to open this 2015 campaign. From the 8-yard line. Tap dances way towards the 35. Devontae Williams with the return of 27 yards. IU in business.
Seen a little bit of everything here this afternoon, haven't we?
Block punt for a touchdown, a 2-point play on a fake, a miss extra point. Big plays galore, over 1,000 yards of total offense already. College football, where have you been?
A little fast break football, huh?
And here comes Sudfeld once again. Play action. And 3 wide receivers running wide open. And he'll send it to Ricky Jones. Into SIU territory after the 19-yard pickup.
And you could tell they wanted the shot over the top down the middle, and they sent Ricky Jones across in the middle, coming all the way from the far side, opened up. Nice decision by Sudfeld.
It's been SIU's defense. It's been on its heels the majority of the second half. A pump fake. Nearly perfect, looking for Jones once again. Cameron in coverage.
That was close. He had to keep that one thin, but just outside. It was on the bubble and go. Out towards the perimeter. Nice coverage by SIU.
If you start to think about dialing up more pressure here, that's what they did the last sequence, and it paid dividends.
Yeah, and they are. That's the nature of who they are, especially around the 50-yard line, and here it comes.
They'll call the run into the blitz. Here's Howard trying to get to the edge. He'll get there. Modest pickup. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6. Jackson with a tackle.
Well, those are one of those runs that aren't going to show up in the stat sheet, but you're going to see Jordan Howard again. SIU had this. Look, great contain, playing outside leverage. He dips in, and again, picks up a few more yards where Anthony Thompson should have had him for a loss.
Another big play developing in this 4th quarter, approaching 11 minutes to play. Hoosiers in a bunch formation, bottom and top of your screen. And the quick strike, it's caught, 1st down. Westbrook far side with a tackle made by Jefferson Villa.
And this is what you do in man coverage, stacking the receivers, right? One guy clears or playing inside out, or sometimes they man the point. And again, wide receiver breaks out Westbrook, and he's open for the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 10 yards, and the IU drive continues. Sudfeld rolls out and is high, looking inside the 10-yard line. Damon Graham, the intended wide receiver. Well, this has the feel of a helter-skelter finish, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you could tell Sudfeld's too. He wants the ball in his hands right now.
Senior quarterback suffered a non-throwing shoulder injury last year. Back to the air again, and a dangerous pass. It'll be caught. Ricky Jones, there he goes. Jones inside the 15 and tumbles his way down towards the 11. Thompson finally drags him down.
Ricky Jones, too, the defensive back, is playing about 7 yards off. Again, a little play action fake. He closes, he just misses the tackle. And then number 31 also misses a tackle, and they end up picking it up. That was Kenny James.
And an injured player with the SIU defense, Adam Brandt. senior defensive end. Well, partner, we've seen a little bit of everything today. It's been a great opening weekend. We've seen a couple of upsets across the country and maybe another one here today.
Boy, Indiana just has to remember where they are in the field. Plenty of time left. It's a tie ball game. Protect the football. Make sure you get out of this possession with points.
And a reminder, coming up this evening, number 20 Wisconsin against third-ranked Alabama. That's this evening at 8 o'clock on ABC, and also live stream at home and on the go at watchespn.com. Nick Saban, who is he going to start under center? That's one of the big questions. Of course, these two teams met last year. You see the numbers. Wisconsin has been electric on the ground. Melvin Gordon. Let's pick your poison at running back.
Yeah.
Bama, West Virginia last year. My mistake on that one. Intriguing game nonetheless this evening. Divine Redding bangs his way ahead for a pickup of 4. It's a nice 1-2 punch in the backfield.
Yeah, it certainly is. They had talked about it as much as anything about they love the fact they have 2 of those kind of guys. And Jordan Howard gives them a little bit of a hammer. They're both physical runners.
Under 10 minutes to play. Sudfeld. Delayed handoff Redding. And stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Up Church. And now it's 3rd down and 4 from the 5-yard line.
They're opening things up. Do they dare let Sudfeld keep it again on the quarterback read?
It's been effective on 3rd down. Hoosiers
faking inside, right.
4 of 10 on 3rd down tonight. He'll go to the air. Back corner end zone and nearly picked off, and Thompson had that one played beautifully. Trying to find his tight end, Casaro.
Anthony Thompson let an opportunity slip right through his hands, literally and figuratively. He's there to make a play. You got to come down with that ball.
Well,
He's one of their playmakers.
And credit Casaro there too, Dave, for being able to play almost like a defensive back. And here comes a 22-yard field goal attempt by Griffin Oaks. He has been Mr. Automatic for IU. And this one sails through. That looked like it may have been tipped. The knuckleball is effective. And our new score with 9:08 remaining, Indiana, the 3-point lead, 41-38.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
Back and forth we go, 41-38. 9:08 remaining in our fourth quarter. Back in Bloomington with David Diaz-Infante and Roy Philpott. Missed opportunity here for SIU.
Yeah, I tell you what, and this game's been like this all day long, and you're going to see Anthony Thompson have a chance to make that interception ball he's going to come down with. That keeps 3 points off the board. We were just talking about how Nate Sudfeld had to be careful with the football, and there missed opportunity on both sides there, you know.
Inches away perhaps from preserving the tie game, and this game has been so crazy in the final couple of minutes here. Who knows what's going to happen next? Fielded by Isom at his 5. And the kid's got some speed, just a freshman.
And both teams able to get some little yardage out of their return game as well.
25-yard return, 1st and 10 for SIU. 9:02 remaining.
Starting to get nitty-gritty time right here now.
It is.
Each possession critical. What are you doing with it, and how much time you leave on the clock?
What would you like to see here from the Salukis offense, given what we've seen the last 2 quarters?
They just got to keep on doing what they're doing. You know, run the football, a little play action, work the perimeter when the numbers tell you to do so.
It'll go down as a forward pass. Darrell James makes the grab. Really can't do anything with it. Nominal gain on 1st down.
Nice open field tackle by the freshman out of Florida, Jonathan Crawford, a guy they are very high on. 6'2", almost 6'3", got great length. They think he has a chance to be a big-time safety.
And Brian Norris said he's going to be special in time, the defensive coordinator for IU. Play action, Reed dropped it. His first drop of the contest, Billy Reed, and a costly one at that.
You know what I like, though? There's no anguish in his eyes. He's just looking at his quarterback around the eyes and doesn't have to say anything. Again, Indiana brings pressure from the field. He had the window there to make the throw.
Here comes the crowd on 3rd down and long.
You see Indiana, they're showing 2 linebackers in those A gaps.
Ionati pocket collapses. The walls crash down. And down he goes. 2 flags on the field. Mangieri with the quarterback sack if the play stands.
Holding offense number 59. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Hey, TJ Simmons and Nick Mangieri have been stepping up for their team in this second half, and you'll see him just a great get off. You see the slap and dip, and he's got the edge, and he's going to pursue and draw the holding call right there and finish with the sack. 4th and 4th down. Nice play.
The Indiana defense has been one of these stories in this second half, yielding just 7 points. And Page loses a yard on the punt return. It'll be 1st and 10 for Indiana.
Oh, sorry.
Well, an exciting opening weekend here, college football. Roy Philpott, David Diaz-Infante. What are we going to see coming down the stretch here? Anything is possible.
Yeah, I tell you, we've seen a little bit of everything. Like we talked about in opening weekend, so many things come into play, from young players being on the field, special teams, turnovers, penalties, and we've seen a little bit of everything, like you said.
We'll find out in just a few minutes. Sudfeld into SIU territory. Quarterback play always critical. Sudfeld, he's had a pretty strong second half, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly has. He's made the throws that he's had to. And the interesting thing about him, you don't think of him as a runner, but he's done just enough to convert some 3rd downs, create some big plays for their offense. And obviously on the other side of the ball, Ionati's done just about everything you'd ask for him to do.
21-yard pickup on that last play.
You know, two different styles, but both being effective.
And here come the Hoosiers. Howard with a crease. And a gain of 4 on first down. Williams with a tackle. Jordan Howard's had himself quite a debut here at Indiana. 135 yards rushing and 2 scores.
Yeah, he's a workhorse, and that's what he's been throughout his career at UAB. And what a find for Indiana to get him off the streets.
Good fake that time by Sudfeld. Gave it away to Howard. 3rd down. Stopped by Millender. Another big play coming up for this SIU defense.
Can they continue to hold? It's getting to be deep into the 4th quarter. They've been playing on an emotional high all game long. Can they sustain it? Can someone step up and make a play? And there's Chase Allen. He's a guy that's done it for him a lot.
Salukis had an 11-point lead at halftime. And here we go on 3rd down. Page, the intended wide receiver, and that one had some mustard on it. Cameron in coverage.
Yeah, it did. Very interesting right there, you know, because SIU's been bringing pressure on that 3rd down, trying to force a quick throw, but this time they only rushed 4. They're playing zone, and there it is. That ball is, boy, that was a bullet on the numbers. You got to come down to that one. Mitchell Page is going to.
I got you at the 10.
Oh, he wanted it too. It was there. It was a fastball, though, on the numbers.
So don't go anywhere just yet. The plot starts to thicken a little bit more. 6:10 remaining, and SIU will get the football back. And a great job by Indiana special teams. Down at the 5-yard line. And Cook is able to make sure it'll be poor possession for SIU.
Hi, Hoosier fans. Indiana University Athletic Director Fred Glass here, urging you to help make Indiana University the greenest team in the Big Ten. Use those recycling bins conveniently located in the college football. Go Hoosiers!
Hoosiers fans, show LG how you do game day right for a chance to win at LG Home Theater Pass. Take your photo here at the game and upload it to the LGGameDayHub.com. You'll be entered for a chance to win. LG is an official partner of Indiana University Athletics and wants you to do game day right with LG at King's Great Buys Plus. Helping businesses find practical solutions to business technology issues. Sharp Business Systems, proud sponsor of IU Athletics. Great products, even better people. SBSIndiana.com or 317-844-0033.
I can imagine.
Poor field position for SIU, needing to go 94 yards to reclaim the lead, and 6 minutes to do it for senior quarterback Mark Ionati. You see the numbers, career high 111 rushing yards, and he'll start out this possession on the bench as Matt DeSomer's back in.
Wow. The wide receiver slash quarterback slash returner Wildcat specialist.
And The misdirection plays. He snaps ahead across the 10 for a quality pickup on first down.
You know, it's a very interesting call because your quarterback's proven he's a pretty good runner himself too. You know, when they to Somer's a guy they had at wide receiver, and all of a sudden they said, "Hey, this guy's pretty good. We got to find a way to get him in the game."
Yeah, the goal was 12 to 15 touches tonight. Draws the contact short of the 15-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
You know, and I wonder how much of a run-pass option they have, and taking your quarterback out for a couple plays, does that get him out of rhythm? You know, I'm a guy that never favors that, but I never played in this kind of offense.
And Salukis 9 of 14 on 3rd down. And Ionati back on the field. They got to be thinking quarterback draw. No, play action, back to the tight end, Feeney. And there he goes inside the 35 as he crashes his way for another first down and another huge chunk play.
Again, same play they scored with earlier in the game. Again, the play action, linebackers and safety suck up, and there's Feeney again right there, stiff arming.
57 yards on the play. And Ionati hammered towards the turf by Mangieri.
You know, it's interesting. Feeney's been grabbing his hamstring too. I don't know if he started to cramp up after that run, but he had to stay out there for that play because they're trying to use tempo.
Southern Illinois trailing by 3. Under 4 minutes to play here in Bloomington. 9 years ago, pulled off the upset on this very field. Can he do it again? In the flats, Isom shoved out of bounds. And a gain of 4 yards. Noel Padmore in coverage.
Another 3rd down and short opportunity here for SIU.
But you're not thinking field goal right now. You're going for the win, aren't you?
Yeah. There's plenty of time left. But, you know, I think you want to use some time here. You're not in a hurry. Let the clock run, you know. You're in this thing. You're moving the ball. You got a little rhythm going.
12 on the play clock. A fumbled exchange. And down he goes in the backfield. Nate Hoff with a sack. All the way back at the 30-yard line.
Boy, you'll see the receiver come in motion. He just hit the ball on the snap. Wow, that was Isom. Look, he mistimes his motion on the fly motion, and he hits the ball as it hits Ionati's hands.
A fresh mistake. 46-yard field goal. Austin Johnson on the way, and it's good. Our new score with 2:37 remaining. We are tied at 41.
Wow. A 3rd down missed opportunity. They still nailed the field goal. Plenty of time left on the clock. 2:37.
Hoosiers also with all 3 timeouts at their disposal.
You know, that missed timing of the motion was critical. I mean, at least they came away with 3 points to tie the ball game up, but they had a chance to work the clock a little bit. It was 3rd and short, where they've been very efficient at all game long.
And back to work for Kevin Wilson and company.
You know, we talked about opening game weekend, all things can play. One of the things we talked about, young players. Isom, just a freshman, mistimes the motion.
That's a freshman mistake.
Yeah, that's a freshman. That's a young player mistake at a critical moment in the game.
Now 7-play, 64-yard drive in just over 3 minutes. And the big one, 57 yards to the tight end, Adam Feeney. What a game this has turned out to be. 9 years ago, SIU won on this very field, 35-28. It was the first Missouri Valley Football Conference victory over a Big Ten school. Two yards deep. Shoved down just past the 15-yard line. Well, Nate Sudfeld has talked all offseason long about a sense of urgency. Injured several times in his career here at IU, and now a chance to prove his worth once again, not only to his team, to his program, these fans, to NFL scouts.
Hey, when you're the man at quarterback, these are moments you live for right here. Give me the rock, right?
That's exactly right. Indiana with over 500 yards of total offense today. And they'll stick on the ground the first play. Across the 20, a pickup of 5 yards for Jordan Howard.
Jordan Howard, the Hoosier ball carrier. Tackle by 51, TJ Beelan.
Beelan with the stop. As we approach 2 minutes to play. Quick pitch and catch, and it's in and out of the midst. The tight end Michael Cooper. Chase Allen in coverage. And wait a second, third down.
Yeah, that's a catch you got to make, and it's a ball that's got to be a little bit more on the numbers.
And the SIU faithful starting to make some noise.
Third down's what playing quarterback's all about.
With time. Caught. First down. Needed 5. He'll gain 6. Forward progress will net the first down. And the drive continues after the reception by Ricky Jones.
See Ricky Jones again running that slant inside zone coverage. Right there. Nice accurate throw. Got enough yardage. Knew where the first down marker was.
Kevin Wilson's got to like that play.
Down. The play will be under further review.
So a challenge. We'll take a second look at that spot. I don't know. It looked like to me from our vantage point, he clearly was ahead of the chains.
Well, our record's not so good here this afternoon.
We're shaking off the rust just like everybody else. I'd say that is closer than I expected.
He's right at the marker. I mean, you can't say that it was.
Is that conclusive?
Nah, remember, it's ruled as a first down on the field, so this one will stand.
So we think. Tom Fielder, our replay official, Big Ten crew, have been very busy in a 41-41 ball game. One more look at it. Needed to get to the 27.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Who needs the replay official when you have Dave Diaz-Infante?
Hit me.
That may have been a double down.
Yeah, that's right. And remember, the officials have the same angles, the same cameras that we're using too, so we're seeing what they're seeing.
Tension starting to mount.
Southern Illinois will not have a challenge for the remainder of the game.
Ooh.
That
was worth it. You know what? You never know.
Ron Snodgrass with the call. 2 timeouts remaining for Southern Illinois. Here's Sudfeld, pressured. And wisely just dumps it off. Cobbs was in the area. Good pressure that time by SIU. Jackson applying pressure.
I tell you what, they were taking another look at Ricky. A little stutter go. Nice job by defensive back to be in position to make that play. Sudfeld just didn't think he had it, but they were being aggressive. I kind of like that.
1:45 remaining. Here's Sudfeld. Wants it all. Goes deep. Has a man running wide open. And it's caught. Ricky Jones. All the way down to the 1-yard line. McCray in coverage was toasted for a gain of 71 yards.
Not only were they aggressive on first down, on second down, they went right back after him. Great deep ball. Put air on the ball, allowing your receiver to make a play on it. Use his legs, run underneath the football. Great job. Ricky Jones, playmaker.
And now, if you're Indiana, you're not in any kind of hurry given where you are.
I know. It's like SIU. You almost want to let them score there. Give me the ball back.
The Salukis with 2 timeouts. Time winding down. And Kevin Wilson will utilize one of his remaining timeouts. And Dave, how about the performance by Ricky Jones? 6 catches, 186 yards, and a touchdown to boot.
Remember, coaches, and Kevin Johns and Kevin Wilson were talking to us about they want to get more vertical with this passing game. And they don't want to just be all horizontal. They've got to take vertical shots to loose that defense off. It helps everything. And sure enough, it's the vertical shots, the aggressiveness, 2 downs in a row that pays off at a critical moment in the game.
Kevin Wilson will go over the play call one more time. And for SIU, Dale Lennon's got to figure something out right now. Well, welcome to college football 2015. If you like offense, this is a sport for you. See Sudfeld's numbers.
Solid afternoon. And it really has been. And you know, he played better as the game went on. You know, made some big plays here.
Still work to do. Howard in the backfield will get the call. Touchdown, Indiana. 3rd score of the afternoon for Jordan Howard. And the biggest one so far.
How critical is that missed extra point now? In the context of the game comes down to where you know they were going to score on the first play. It's over now. You need to get the ball back for your offense.
And that's probably not the worst thing that could have happened there, quite honestly.
That's fine.
The Salukis will have 58 seconds to work with and a pair of timeouts. The extra point is good. Our new score, 48-41. Over 1,100 yards of total offense today. And a 6-play, 83-yard drive. Jordan Howard leaving UAB after it disbanded its football program. It was announced on New Year's Day he would come here to Bloomington.
Look at the play action. Watch the air that Nate Sudfeld puts on the ball. Allows his receiver time to run underneath it. And Ricky Jones staying alive and getting that ball down to the 1-yard line. You know, Ricky Jones, they moved to the X. He'd always been a slot, and people wonder maybe he's too small to play out there. You know, you usually look for length and can he beat press coverage, and all those kind of questions came up. The coach said, hey, this guy's got a great vertical and he's strong, so he's physical enough to get off the bump in the press, and you see his vertical speed. So that move has been a good addition to this offense.
All right, now if you're Southern Illinois, you've utilized the majority of your production on the ground. You got to find a way to make up some serious yards in a hurry. This guy can do it. Daquan Isom. Ball pounded through the end zone for the touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25, and what an afternoon for Mark Iannotti. First time in school history he's Seen a quarterback go over 300 yards passing and 100 yards rushing. This guy's done it all, and he needs a little bit more magic, Dave.
Hey, I love what this young man has done here this afternoon, especially what he went through last year and how he talked to us about that and how we really thought it made him stronger. You know, sometimes that can ruin a kid, but instead he got mentally tougher, readdressed how he prepares to play the game, understand what it takes to be a top-notch quarterback. First guy in, last guy out, and it's paying off right here on this afternoon.
And the record he broke was that of Nick Hill, his current co-offensive coordinator, who engineered the upset right here on this field 9 years ago. Isom once again in the flats. Oh, dangerous weapon, and he'll have a first down, a gain of 13. The clock will stop, 50 seconds remaining, and now it starts again. Nadi with time, looking deep. An outstanding coverage. A late flag comes in. That was Cook, who appeared to be face guarding Iwema.
Pass interference, defense, number 20, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And don't go anywhere just yet. How many times have we said that?
And you'll see Cook, look, he's got good position on him right here and kind of keeps him from getting to the football. Ooh, that's tough.
That looked like good coverage.
I don't know what kind of effort he made to get to the ball. If he would have jumped and that would have interfered with him, that call would have been a little more clear for the official. Either way, they get the benefit of it.
SIU in Indiana territory. Here we go. 2 timeouts to work with. Going deep for Reed. Late contact, but no flag. Good job by Padmore for the Hoosiers.
One of the big concerns of Indiana coming into this game was the inexperience of their secondary, and it's being tested right there. Padmore again jostling in some little contact down the sideline, and again SIU being aggressive, pushing the ball down the field. Someone's gonna have to win the one-on-one matchup here. That's where the game's at. I mean, I love it.
33 seconds on the clock. Fastballs off target.
They had just what they wanted right there to the Scablin. Indiana brings 2 cross-dog blitzers up the middle. They've got it open to the tight end, and it just comes in a little hot. You'll see number 3 is going to hook up. Look, he's open right there. He was a hot receiver. Both blitzers came inside. He's got to get his head around.
Third down and 10. Ionati floats one down the field, and it's caught at the 25. That's good for the first down. Jimmy Jones with the grab, Walton with the tackle. And the Salukis in business after a 21-yard pickup.
Well, they're playing cover 2, and he hits a hole shot right there behind the corner in front of the safety. Nice touch. The ball comes up, and a way to focus on the football by Jimmy Jones.
And Kevin Wilson's going to utilize a timeout. Ionati now with a new school record of 492 yards.
Hey, Jimmy Jones, just a redshirt freshman. Again, going up making that play. I mean, you know, that ball's there. You know you're about to take a hit from a safety. You know it's cover 2. The corner squatted. You're in the hole shot, and he makes that catch. I mean, there's a young guy stepping up making a play, you know.
24 seconds remaining. SIU still with 2 timeouts.
You'll see 18 right there. He's going to get his hands on him. He's just squatting right there. Look, the ball's coming. He knows the safety's on his way, and he makes the catch.
Remember, Indiana playing without 4 key defensive starters in this ball game. And oh, by the way, that's the 9th play of 20 yards or more by SIU's offense. After the Hoosiers timeout. The other thing to consider, if you're a fan of the Salukis, if you score a game-tying touchdown, potentially you go for 2 and try to win it instead of kicking the extra point. And Nadi directing traffic with Isom. Flag on the field towards the end zone. Jones made the catch. Touchdown, Southern Illinois. Let's check the penalty.
It's on the defense. Offsides.
Offside. Defense, number 56. Penalty is declined. The score is good.
Oh my.
There's two things that happen on that play. First of all, the offsides by Mangieri. All great pass rushers they're going to get a couple of those. They get them, right? They're trying to get after the quarterback. The other thing is Mark Ionati knows he's got a free play. He's taking a shot over the top. And Jones comes up and makes another big-time catch, the redshirt freshman.
5 plays, 75 yards in 40 seconds.
And what do you do right here? You're SIU. You go for 2. You're on the road. You're not here for a long time. You're here for a good time. Let's go for the win.
What has to be the game of the day in college football. 18 seconds remaining. Dale Lennon going to roll the dice one more time.
I love it. Quarterback's a gamer. Your team has played tough for 4 quarters and hung in there. Shoot, give them a chance to win it all and live with the results.
This could be the ball game, and Kevin Wilson will utilize his final timeout.
Second charge timeout. Southern Illinois. This will be a 30-second.
Look at Jimmy Jones, redshirt freshman again. Locked up man-to-man, 2 young players going at it. Watch him go up and just be aggressive for the football in the air.
Our Big Ten officiating crew indicated that was an SIU timeout, but it was Kevin Wilson that ran out on the field. It appeared at the last second.
Oh, really? I thought, what was Kevin Wilson doing on the field then if he didn't call timeout, right? He was out at the numbers.
Dave Diaz-Infante, Roy Philpott, final sequence coming up. What do you call here if you are Southern Illinois?
You've been so effective with your run game. I think any kind of run play action where your quarterback has the ability to have an RPO, run pass option towards the perimeter, off the fly, give him a little distraction, give him an option where he can run it or throw it based on what the defense does. You don't have a whole lot of space down there, so it's got to pop open.
Will history repeat itself?
Watch
9 years ago. Iwema in motion towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. Andre Brown was able to knock it away at the last possible second.
Again, look, they're going to try and get Ionati off into the perimeter, right? Sprint him out. Great pressure by Indiana. The ball's there. The defender was there. I don't know if he scores either way. They had it defensed. That ball's got to get there quick.
He dropped it.
Yeah, it was in the basket. But you know what? I like the decision to go for it. Gave yourself a chance.
Iwema had an opportunity, went right through the midst. Brown was right there in coverage as well. He was ready and waiting, and IU perhaps will survive.
Wow. 18 seconds left. It's not over, my friend.
Onside kick certainly on the way for the Salukis, who have 1 timeout left. What has been an unforgettable game to open this 2015 campaign in the Big Ten. 9 years ago, the Salukis upset the Hoosiers right here on this field, 35-28. First ever victory for a Missouri Valley Football Conference squad over a Big Ten team. Here's the onside kick. And brought in. And that should just about do it. Backup tight end Sorrow brings it in, and if you're a fan of the Hoosiers, you're taking a deep breath right about now.
And you know what? They're not the only ones that found themselves, in a battle against maybe what you'd say is a lesser opponent. Power 5. This is an FCS school, but hey, any way you can win on opening weekend is a good thing. And hats off to SIU. They got and we talked about it yesterday with the coaches, Indiana and Coach Wilson. This team is feisty, man. They're scrappy. You turn on the film, these guys play hard, and Coach knew it.
And that's going to do it. In a game that featured over 1,200 yards of total offense, Kevin Wilson's club will survive. 48-47 our final score.
If this is any indication what this football season is going to be, we're in for a great one, my friend.
So Nate Sudfeld back for the first time in 329 days after injuring his non-throwing shoulder. Goes for 349 yards and a touchdown. Another 46 on the ground. And IU with just enough offense.
Quarterback play outstanding. Two different styles, two different versions, but both equally as valiant in their effort leading their football teams here today.
And I think you hit the nail on the head as well, Dave. When you look at SIU, nothing to hang your head over. They're going to be a factor in the FCS ranks this season. Another look at that final sequence.
There's Iowa. He's right there. I don't know if he makes that catch. That defensive back's there so quick right at the goal line. I don't know if he scores, he makes the catch anyways. Try and get that route into the end zone so you cross the plane. The ball was on the numbers. Great job of IU of pressuring the edge, forcing the throw early. But you know what? Hey, I'm glad they went for it. I'd do it 10 times again like that because your team had a chance to deserve that chance to go for two and win it all and live with the results. You know what? Both teams play hard today.
Kevin Wilson's talking about changing the culture, trying to take that next step in a weird sort of way. This program may have done that in finding a way to win this one, as highly contested as it was.
Yeah, as tough as it was, they won a game they're supposed to win.
So that's going to do it for us. For David Diaz-Infante, I'm Roy Philpott saying so long from Memorial Stadium here in Bloomington, Indiana, where our final score tonight, the Salukis of Southern Illinois 47, Indiana 48. Watch this entire game on replay as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks. Log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. So long, everybody.